Approaching the boxing ring is Savelii SADOMA, 23 years of age. Part of a 13-deep Russian boxing team, a fighter in every weight, and it's a brisk walk to the boxing ring. The camera operator struggling to keep up with him. His 5th bout of the tournament. More detail on that in a moment. Aliaksei ALFIORAU of Belarus competing in his 4th bout. And you can see from the markings around his face, it's been a very hard tournament for him indeed. By in the first preliminary round, 3-2 split decision victor over the 2021 or 2020 Tokyo Olympian Luka Plantic, the 9-time national champion of Croatia. Then it was a hard-fought contest over the Asian Continental Championship silver medalist from earlier this year, Meysam Hesalagi. A rough contest. The Iranian boxer was warned twice for not keeping his head up, but it was beautiful boxing to land the left hand to the body by the southpaw in blue, who steps into the ring. And then a terrific contest where he held his feet, got on the front foot on occasion against Kalen Cassidy of Ireland in the quarterfinal. In stark contrast, SADOMA, classical upright Cho Jung-suk of Korea, preparing to call time to get this one underway. So this is 80 kilogram light heavyweight action, and the two boxers in the ring could not be more different. The reigning Russian national champion is wearing red. He's the boxer representing the Russian Boxing Federation, but he's been put on the end of a southpaw jab and left hand to both body and head of the straight variety and the upward variety by the man in blue, and that is Aliaksei ALFIORAU, a bendy, flexible southpaw who possesses terrific reflexes. He is absolutely brilliant on the back foot, but in his quarter-final win against Kalen Cassidy of Ireland, the reigning Irish national champion, he showed the ability he's showing here to hold his feet and go on the front foot, and he's scoring terrifically with that lead left hand. Now you see him playing with his waistband of his trunks, because often by the midpoint of the round, as he scores with a right jab and left cross to the body, those shorts take on a comedy effect, and they end up around his armpits as he lends another left hand to the body before skitting away to his left. Terrific fluidity, and how about that for a snaking corkscrew right hand from around the belt line, which is inching closer to his sternum by the second. But the fluidity that he's bringing to the ring is making life quite difficult for SADOMA, who is upright, operates out of a classical stance as he run onto another southpaw right there. This is proving to be a very difficult mission because SADOMA is as textbook as they come. He possesses terrific pop on his punches. Scored a knockout with an overhand right in his contest in the round of 32 against Hambodzom Hakobyan. Landed it to the temple and completely scrambled the senses of the man. But again, he possesses terrific pop on his punches, but you see the attempted less, just clipping the chin of ALFIORAU. Grazing it is perhaps a better adjective because the man in blue is invariably riding the shot by moving away from it, be it to the side or backwards. Good left hand landed to the body by ALFIORAU. There's a clipping right hand success by SADOMA, and there he lands a good right hand after catching the lead shot of the man in blue. ALFIORAU has shown a little bit of everything in this tournament so far, because the contest against Meysam Hesalagi was rough indeed, and that's where he picked up a fair number of those facial injuries. But the AIBA medical staff have done a terrific job with the two boxers exchange backhands. You see him checking those injuries again, and this is precisely what happened in the contest against Hesalagi, when the head was going in, and so too was the heel of the glove and forearms. And repeatedly, he kept touching his face after sustaining an injury. He did it there, and one wonders whether he has sustained more damage or whether another injury, an old injury, has been exacerbated. I think the man in blue has taken that opening round, although SADOMA did get closer the more deep we got into it.
I would agree. I thought the cleaner punching, the more accurate punching came from the man in blue, whose face certainly shows the scars of battles over the last few days. And ALFIORAU gets it 3-2 there. And I think that's a fair reflection. I would say that's probably the least he deserved from where I was sitting. He's got a nice loose style to him. As you mentioned, SADOMA is more upright, looks more the kind of typical boxing specimen, if you like, but ALFIORAU has just got really good balance. He keeps those hands moving. He never loads up on anything. He just keeps them moving, keeps them slinging from quite difficult angles at times. So 3-2 split in his favour in that first round. I think that's a pretty accurate assessment of what we saw.
Well, both boxers triggering themselves on top of the logo at centre ring to begin the second round. And SADOMA has come out altogether more industriously to begin round number 2. And look at that for a veteran move from the 23-year-old. On the blind side of the referee, put his man in a headlock, brought his arm up through the ropes and just knocked on his face a little bit with the inside of his glove. So approaching 30 seconds gone in the second round. Scoring jab from SADOMA, then drives in a right hand to the stomach of the man in red. But look at that for a rapid fire 1-2 and then followed up by a right jab, but it's countered by a right hand from SADOMA. Terrific trade-off. The final word to SADOMA, but the better of the exchange to the man in blue. Remember, a guaranteed bronze medal at least for both of these boxers. SADOMA looking to back his man up now, but he's so comfortable under fire, but he takes a solid right hand and another one which was punctuated by a left hand in between from SADOMA. Up on his toes now is ALFIORAU, using the space of the boxing ring, coming forwards in a straight line, but putting on the end of a right jab and left hand to the body and another right jab, which is countered by an uppercut to the torso. It was a good portion of the round for ALFIORAU. In the World Youth Championships in 2018, he came away with a bronze medal. ALFIORAU, he's got at least that here. And Andy Arai, as he took a hard right hand to the body, but came back with a right hand of his own, left hand over the top, followed by a shot which landed with the inside of the glove. And there's the same shot once again, whipping roundhouse right from ALFIORAU. Terrific punch picking from him, but SADOMA looking to continue to quicken the tempo, and that left hand to the body came from nowhere. Didn't appear to be on balance to throw the shot, swung it in, and it found the mark from ALFIORAU. That's the type of unconventional angles that he brings to his work, making him very difficult to read. There's success for both boxers, as ALFIORAU just beginning to wear a bit of a busted up look around his face once again, and he's feeling for his injuries once more. He is one tough hombre, Aliaksei ALFIORAU. Left hand to the body's a scoring shot once again. There's a left hand over the top from the man in blue. And in addition to that World Youth Bronze in 2018, I was saying Andy and I were in Roseto when he came away with a European Under-22 bronze in Kielce earlier this summer. Here he is on the senior stage, getting through with a backhand, but that's countered by a backhand from SADOMA, who went looking for the same shot once again, but it was off the mark. And as SADOMA tried to disengage, he was picked off by a left uppercut, but then SADOMA scored with a left hook and followed up a few seconds later with a right hand to the body, and it's a terrific trade-off near the turnbuckle of the neutral corner between these two men before ALFIORAU gets back to the space of center ring and looks to put it on his man. What a round, my goodness. Terrific punch output from both boxers from the opening bell. Both of them enjoying success. ALFIORAU took the first on a 3-2 split. This man, SADOMA, doing better in the second round than he did in the first. How will the judges score this one?
Well, they've got it 4-1 in favour of ALFIORAU, and I think that's right. I think that's fair, because what I saw there was the first half of the round where SADOMA looked to get forward more, looked to throw more, was more aggressive, did have some success. But the second half of that round, I'm telling you, that has taken something out of SADOMA, because he was tagged regularly, clean. I'm looking at him in the corner. They're just whipping that towel to him, that soaked towel, getting some spray of water and fresh air to him. But he was hit a lot in the second half of that round. And it looked to me like he wasn't far away from coming apart a bit. Final few seconds of the round. ALFIORAU is accurate and maybe punches a little bit harder than he looks like he does.
So into the third and final round of a contest that is in the balance, and the loose-limbed, flexible figure of Aliaksei ALFIORAU of Belarus in blue against the more upright, classical style of Savelii SADOMA is making for a brilliant contest. SADOMA beginning to mark up beneath the eyes now. Oh, that's a cracking 1-2 combination landed by the man in red. But ALFIORAU We've talked about the toughness he's demonstrated all the way through this tournament, keeping his concentration. And he must be a really dispiriting boxer to face, because this is the 80-kilogram light heavyweight division, remember. The man's face has been marked up from the opening contest where he fought Luka Plantic, who is as physical as they come, the Tokyo Olympian from Croatia. But yet here he is, not dispirited, not discouraged, and indeed continuing to go about his work with terrific accuracy and plenty of swag as well. Very difficult to catch cleanly. There he takes a right hand, but his expression, apart from when he reaches for the injuries that he sustained, it never changes. Look at that, he takes a solid right hand from SADOMA, but just comes right back with a reverse 1-2. He takes a shot, but then look at him again. He's making sure he's getting terrific leverage on his punches as he whips in a left uppercut. SADOMA behind a loose guard now, coming forwards, and this contest taking on an attritional quality beyond the midpoint of the final round. But ALFIORAU with such eye-catching work. Good left hand to the stomach once again. Inaccuracy from SADOMA. It really is a terrific display through the first half of the round as the right hook is turned around the corner, a long one. Big intake of breath, and ALFIORAU says, okay, we've got a minute to go. I'm ready to do this. SADOMA, by contrast, not looking dispirited, but perhaps a little bit more concerned, aware of the fact that he's running out of time. And this man, despite his appearance, giving the impression that he can box at this type of tempo all contest long and take the punches from this knockout artist and continuing to pitch. That's often referred to as the curse of the puncher, where if you possess dynamite in your fists and you hit a man with everything you've got and he's still there standing, the puncher can often look at their fist as he takes a hard left hand to the stomach and think, well, hold up, why aren't these working tonight? And SADOMA, for my money, just giving a little bit of that impression here now. He's still pressing forwards, going in search of the knockout that he needs for my money. But ALFIORAU has navigated this contest very well indeed. And I think the man in blue is going to be declared the victor here. A terrific performance, my goodness. He is one tough guy. The punches come in from unexpected angles. Injuries carried in from his previous contests, but he just puts them out of his mind. And again, outside of reaching for them occasionally, he's still in there, taking the best of what the man can give, and invariably coming out the better when they get into trade-offs.
Tough guy, but really good fighter. Loose, good timing, never loads up on anything, just keeps the hands moving, never tries to force anything, great rhythm to him. That was a tremendous performance, and he's a comfortable winner there.
In the bout number 481, the winner of points by split decision is the boxer out of the blue corner.
And there is confirmation. Aliaksei ALFIORAU whoops out a holler at having been declared a 4-1 split decision victor over Savelii SADOMA, the reigning two-time national champion of Russia, eliminated. And that is an absolutely sensational performance from Aliaksei ALFIORAU.
He's great to watch, isn't he? He's great to watch. Sorry to interrupt. He's not that likely looking a fighter. You think of all the fighters we've seen in the hotel over the last 2 weeks, and you walk past them in the corridors and they've just got this look to them, this unbelievable physicality to them. And he's obviously in great nick, ALFIORAU, because he's boxed 9 minutes there at a really good pace and never looked like dropping that tempo at all. But just really impressed with that. I've seen him before, but just very, very impressed with that. And he broke his heart a bit in there, I think, really, was what he did, because he just kept